name's Keith Otten. I'm from Southwestern Illinois College. I grew up in Millstadt and wind up attending Belleville West High School, and I took a lot of shop classes. I really enjoyed helping people, work on their projects. So I wind up doing really good in some of my shop classes, and the instructors would wind up either assigning me to, difficult projects or projects that, they knew I could take care of. That's where I really kind of found that I wanted to be a teacher. And so I kind of set my sights for that. At the time, I was kind of looking where I could wind up, getting my education in order to be an instructor or a teacher. And so I started attending the local community college. At the time, the name was called Belleville Area College, which turned over to be SWIC, where I'm at now. I wind up getting Associates of Science and Associates of Arts, and then transferred that over to Illinois State University in Bloomington Normal, and getting my bachelor's in industrial technology education. I wind up TA in there and taught drafting classes or technical drawing classes. Started working on my master's, came back home and started teaching high school shop classes. So I taught manufacture, metalworking, welding, taught woodworking, taught electricity, electronics, sheet metal work, construction, drafting, a lot of different areas. Continued working on my master's degree and attending Lindenwood University and getting my education administration degree, and that's based out in St. Charles. And while I was going to school, especially when I was younger, I started 16, doing construction. So I did different facets of construction, starting off just like doing concrete work, then moving into a finished carpenter or rough carpenter, building custom homes. Then I was also maintaining apartments. So I kind of had a few different jobs, and my apartment maintenance job kind of started off with just doing like 3 or 4 units. And then eventually I was maintaining over 100 units. So I would do it, pretty much everything that needed to be done on those. That's how I paid for my education. And when I was teaching shop classes, I had finished my master's degree. I didn't have a whole lot of experience or background in HVAC. And so I went back to school, and I wind up getting an associate's applied science degree in heating and cooling. And while I was going through the program, the instructors liked my capabilities and what my background was, and they wanted me to wind up becoming a teacher. I started working part-time at the college as a HVAC instructor, then a coordinator. A lot of my background is education and teaching shop classes. Some of the other HVAC companies I worked for some of the instructors that ran their own HVAC businesses, and then working for a few smaller HVAC companies doing residential and light commercial. So basically split systems and a little bit with rooftop units. The program that we have, it's an HVAC program. It was started probably around the 1970s. I think I'm like the 4th or 5th coordinator in the program. When I took over the program, we had 2 campuses. So SWIC Southwestern Illinois College has multiple campuses, and we ran the HVAC program on the Granite City campus and on the Belleville campus. And then recently we wind up getting WEI grant, so it was a workforce equity initiative, and it allowed us to wind up starting up another HVAC program on another campus. There's a campus in East St. Louis. They're what's called like a higher education building, and I guess it's owned by what's called like the ICCB. They kind of govern all the community colleges. Any of the community colleges can wind up coming in and offering programs there. It was in a lower economical status area, in which they wanted to try and just make people more employable in that area. We started working on that 2 or 3 years ago, and finally started running. Our first class was spring 2022, and we're just finishing up our first class on the East St. Louis campus this summer. All the campuses are probably about 20 to 40 minutes from each other. We get a lot of people from rural areas, urban areas. I want to say we serve like Randolph County, St. Clair County, Monroe County, Madison County. Our district is pretty wide, or we cover a lot of area. The Granite City campus is located pretty close to what's called Lewis and Clark Community College. That takes a lot of the southern, southwestern part of the area as well, but they don't offer an HVAC program. So since we're the only ones that offer the HVAC program, some of the students from there can wind up coming to us. If they're considered out of district, they're considered in district, because Lewis and Clark doesn't wind up offering, or at least at this point, doesn't offer an HVAC program. We do introduction classes at all 3 campuses. For the most part, East St. Louis has been kind of something different. At the other campuses, we, I guess, offer like a certificate degree and then an associate's applied science degree in HVAC. The one in East St. Louis is only designed for the certificate route. The other ones, they can take all the classes in order to wind up getting the degree route. For some classes, we offer basically kind of like residential and commercial and design aspect and commercial refrigeration. Our advanced controls classes, we've been trying to gear more towards going into the building automation side. One of the recent developments, I had asked for space a long time ago for doing building automation controls. They gave me some space on the Belleville campus, which is actually the main campus, and we're taking a couple of classrooms and taking the floor out, taking the wall out, and it's a 30 by 40 room that we're gonna offer controls classes. Now, is it geared just specifically for building automation? We'll still do like basic controls and stuff like that, but it's gonna allow us to offer, I'm thinking, at least 2 classes in building automation. Maybe possibly in the future, maybe offer a separate certificate or something like that. Our Granite City campus, it's got kind of a unique program. We offer a class called Commercial Cook Equipment. Not a whole lot of HVAC programs offer that, in which they wind up working on fryers and tilt skillets and convection ovens, pizza ovens, pasta cookers, stuff that you would wind up seeing inside of a commercial kitchen. On the Belleville campus, one thing that kind of separates maybe a little bit from what we do on the Granite City campus is we do a distribution and wiring class in which they work with wiring up 3-way switches and 4-way switches, and work with distribution panels and teach them how to wind up wiring things up correctly, like if they have to wire up a disconnect or running power towards an HVAC system. It's HVAR 211. That's required for the degree, but not for the certificate. So that's pretty heavy, kind of on the electrical side. Our HVAR 103, which is basic electrical controls, has, a lot of electrical in it. I mean, all the classes, have quite a bit. Our advanced controls class would have, quite a bit of electrical in it. There is a whole different program called EET. It's electricity and electronics. Some classes are offered on the Belleville campus, but a majority of those are offered on the Granite City campus. On the Granite City campus, we have what's called the Industrial Training Center. On Granite City, that campus it's got a lot more trade-oriented classes there. Belleville's kind of like the main campus.
Your instructors teach at all 3 campuses then, or do they?
So I have 3 Right now, 3 full-timers. So, and we have 3 campuses, so we're able to kind of have basically one full-timer on each one of the campuses. So I've got one that pretty much just teaches his whole load, in Granite City, and same way in East St. Louis. And then, I try to do some of, most of my classes in Belleville, but I try to kind of teach on all the different campuses to kind of, depending on the semester and the need and stuff like that. So, but I'm considered kind of like the full-timer for the main campus or the Belleville campus.
Do you have a industry advisory board for?
Yes, sir. My dean says we've got one of the best advisory committees that he's ever seen. So we have pretty good attendance, and typically there's I would say around 30 or 40 people that usually wind up attending those. That's what drives our program. So it tells us what we're doing right, or what we can wind up improving on, and really gives me direction on where to take the program. Our program, again, it's been around for a while, and there hasn't been a whole lot of changes. Some of the changes that they're talking about is huge with, I guess, across the board with all of them, was just for the heat pumps. With the decarbonization and electrification and stuff, that's kind of been the big thing. Heat pumps are becoming more common, and the technology in them is changing, and things are going differently with controls. Things are going differently with motors and compressors and stuff like that. We need to wind up changing some of the stuff that we wind up teaching and offering. Classes that I used to, we're still offering, but this will probably be the last semester to offer it, is what's called like an advanced heating class. And in place of that, we're putting a heat pump class. Like I said, with this new dedicated space, we're going to try and at least take our advanced controls class and put more building automation controls into that class, and then possibly offer a more advanced class in building automation, so for the control side of stuff. But VAV and VRF and some of those technologies used with ductless systems and mini split systems, they want us getting more into that stuff. Typically our program's been focused more on kind of like residential, commercial refrigeration. I see a need for us to get deeper or make more offerings in the commercial section. And that's the direction that we're eventually trying to go more into, is like the commercial HVAC part and controls. There's so much you can do with controls, and so much data that you can wind up collecting. It just kind of seems like that's the way of the future. At this point, our max is kind of set at 12 for our class, and we're already full for registration for the fall, which starts mid-August. So I'm trying to kind of look at some different ways in order to make some more offerings on the East St. Louis campus. And I'm trying some different things that I haven't done before on any of the campuses, in which we're actually going to work with one of the local high schools in that East St. Louis district. And the high school is going to bus the students in order to take classes, and then wind up taking them back. They're going to be coming 5 days a week, and they're going to be coming from 12:30 to 4:30. And which our day classes on that campus run from 9 o'clock to 1:50. We only have one lab on there, but we do have a separate classroom. And maybe it's something we might be able to offer for some of our other campuses, in order to high schools that don't offer an HVAC program, or offer some that option. They could wind up coming to one of the campuses.
So the attrition from 12 to 2
Mm-hmm.
In your first cohort, Have you done any analysis as to why they left the program?
The nutrition happened pretty quick. The class that started, March of 2022, they started mid-semester, which was kind of, a little bit different. By May, it was down to 4. There was actually 4. Both of them left because of they had wind up getting jobs and couldn't wind up finishing the program. So
did they job out in the trade or?
One to the trade, and the other one, he was offered a job in the community or Cahokia Heights. He works for the city, I guess. He was offered a job working for the city, doing, I'm not quite sure what position he took, but I think it was kind of around like the maybe maintenance or maybe grounds maintenance. I don't know, but then the other 2, they wind up continuing through, and like I said, they're getting ready to graduate this summer. The last 2, one, he already has, he started up his own HVAC company, and then also he's a engineer for one of the casinos, and he was actually able to get that job through the program, and then the other student that's in the program, he's always been kind of like the jack of all trades, and I think it was something he wanted to kind of put underneath his belt. I've been trying to kind of offer some different avenues and pathways for him, as far as possibly even going either to a union company or a non-union company, and seeing where he would go from there. The textbook is called the Modern textbook, so it's a modern refrigeration textbook. It's got sustainability and talks about energy efficiencies, inside the textbook. Here in one of the presentations from one of the instructors today about, decarbonization and, the activity you wind up doing could wind up easily, integrating to especially one of our beginning level classes, just kind of making people more aware of, what's going on, so, and just simple things like taking that BTU calculation and putting a meaning to it. And it's like, efficiency. We talk about 80% efficient or 90% efficient. Why are we doing that? Or why are we going in that direction? Or, how much energy are we using? I mean, I think we do a little bit of it, kind of in our introductory classes, as far as like our 101 basic refrigeration class. We kind of touch on it. And then our 152 advanced refrigeration class, we wind up touching on it a little bit. And even like our psychometrics and load calculations class, we'll wind up talking about, different